What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo Flips. Depending on when you're seeing this video, it might just be, I'm still going to be Dave Mo, but this might be Dream Team Auto. Alright, so hit that subscribe button, get down with the team. This video is for my boy Low Price. Low Price, you hit me up, you asked me to make a video on wholesale. Let's get into it, man. Let's see what we could do.
That's my best friend.
So for those of you that don't know, in most states, Florida in particular, when you have your wholesale license, you can only sell vehicles at auction and to dealers. You are not allowed to retail the cars. So that means that you cannot sell that vehicle to your neighbor, to anybody that doesn't own a car dealership. Yet not even to a business. You can't wholesale it to a business. They have to be in the sale of vehicles. So is it hard to make money being a wholesaler? Not really, no. To me, there's as with everything, there's positives and negatives. One of the biggest positives is you don't have to deal with a bunch of people coming to test drive the car, tire kickers, if you will, right? But you have to be really, really skilled when it comes to buying cars. So, you're never going to get retail. Always trying to beat MMR. For those of you guys who don't know what MMR is, that's Manheim Market Research. It's kind of like the holy grail of what cars are going to go for at auction. Manheim being one of the biggest car auctions, they kind of set the standard. Yes, Copart is bigger than Manheim. Manheim is a totally different animal. And when it comes to flipping cars, not putting them back together, Manheim is like the gold standard. But with that being said, when I actually did have my wholesale license years ago out of Indiana, I was down here in Florida, and one of the easiest things I found when it came to flipping those cars was, and this was years ago, so it was a little bit harder. Today it's not that hard. I Google searched a bunch of car dealerships in my area. I made a radius, if it was 30 miles, 50 miles, 500 miles, and I knew all those dealerships, or the majority of those dealerships in that radius. And I simply put together a whole email list of these car dealers. And you could look on their website, you can call them, hey, do you guys have an email? You could be sneaky with it and act like you're trying to buy a car and see if they can email you some stuff. Because the key here is to get their email address, because this is going to be the easiest. Recently, about a year ago, I went to an auction that is no longer around. It's called Furman. And what Furman did was they would email every car dealer that went to this auction the results of the cars that were sold. It was kind of like a silent auction. So you put your best bid on there, and at 6 o'clock at night, they tallied everything up. And if you were the highest bidder, you won the car. If not, someone else did. And they could beat you by $1,000 or $1. Any which way. With that being said, they would email it to you, and I had a list of all these other dealers. So I simply just copied that list. And that's how I would have handled it. But back to more of the story. So you buy this car from auction. It's dirty. It might need a headliner. Maybe the paint's not there, but it could be buffed out, or you have a body guide. However you get the car, it doesn't matter. You get the car, you make it front line ready. For those of you guys who don't know what front line ready means, that's basically a car that I could take onto my dealership, do zero work to it, and put it up for sale. I buy it on Tuesday. By Tuesday evening, it's already up for sale. People could come and buy it that night. No AC compressors got to get put in, no alternators, no detailing, nothing. It's front line ready. So what I would do is get the cars, make them beautiful, make them front line ready, take as many photos as I could of the vehicle. If I took 50 photos, it wasn't enough. I took 100 photos was enough. But I just went crazy, of the switches, the radio knobs, the steering wheel controls, the sunroof, the way that if it said Volvo, right? Always my go-to, Volvo. If it said Volvo in the back, I took a picture of the word Volvo. If it said 3.2T, I took a picture of that, which is the motor, the turbo. So on and so forth. A picture of every single wheel, the door handles to show that there's no scratches or to show that there is scratches. As a wholesaler, time is money. So I would do all this, and I would just email everything. Oh, and then a Carfax. You know, if it had a good Carfax or not, I included the Carfax. And I would just email everybody, all the dealers. This is what it is. It's frontline ready, runs and drives, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I guess with dealers, you could take a check for sure. I'd rather take cash and write them a bill of sale that they can use for their taxes. And they may even be able to 1099 me if I felt that comfortable giving my information. The problem with taking a check is I don't really trust car dealers. And, you know, if for whatever reason they're not happy with the car, they stop payment on check, anything can happen. It still is a used car. So that is one way of getting rid of your wholesale vehicle. Another way of doing it is running it right back to the auction. Right now, excuse me, ACV is great because ACV kind of leveled the playing field. All right. Yes, it will say, you know, franchise dealer, and then it'll say top rated independent dealer. Everyone, I believe, gets that top rated mark. So you can buy a car from any auction you want, do the same exact thing, clean it up, get it ready, call ACV out. They'll come to your dealership and they'll inspect the car and they'll put it up, and you can pretty much hope for MMR. And a lot of these cars are going for very close to MMR. That to me is even easier than the dealer way, because the dealer is going to want to negotiate with you. And you need to, from the beginning, make these guys understand, I don't negotiate. The price is the price. I'm a wholesaler giving to you for a wholesale price. This is the price. And be firm. They want to knock $50 off? Say no. Be like, it's not worth my time. And what you do is you let them know, a dealer again, you let the dealer know, like, hey, don't waste my time bringing a car and trying to negotiate. So what you want to do is establish a reputation for yourself where the dealer wants to do business with you. They know you're not going to fuck around. They know you're not some jerk off that's going to take any old dollar they throw at you. When they try to lowball you or they try to negotiate, be like, yo, I told you these prices were not negotiable. I guess you wasted my time. I'll just take you off my list. If they like the car, they're going to buy it. If they don't, they won't. But by the time they have you there, everything that you said is true. There's no reason why they shouldn't buy it. Back to the auction. Same thing that you did in the beginning, less the pictures. Same thing. Detail it, fix the headliner, do whatever it is that you have to do to make this car look better. Put it out there. Have ACV come, they take all the pictures. No one's getting in your car like at regular auctions. No one's stealing your keys. No one's stealing your knobs from the radio and the climate control. No one's stealing your stupid little lock on the door. Like all this shit that goes on at the regular auction with ACV, it's out. It's out. None of that's happening. Okay? So another thing with ACV is you could spend $250 with them when you sell the car, and it automatically green lights your vehicle as long as it's got less than $200,000. 200,000 miles, sorry. So what that happens is, let's just say you sold your car green light and 6 days later the transmission goes out. You, as a seller, do not have to buy the car back. ACV ends up buying the car back or giving a check to the buyer to kind of soften the blow. Now, if they buy the car back, it's on them to sell it. It's not on you. For $250, it's like an insurance policy that you're never going to have to deal with the car, and you'll get the top dollar amount for it. At this stage of the game, especially during tax time, that is the way I believe you'll make the fastest, most amount of money. Because again, when you're a wholesaler, you want the most for the least. You know, the most amount of money for the least amount of work. Unfortunately, as a wholesaler, chances are you're going to have to watch every single auction. You're going to have to really know what you're going to sell those cars for. And you have to be a beast. A lot of times you're going to be buying cars in lane. If you don't know what buying cars in lane means, I'll go over it for you. You hear a lot of terminology, people saying, oh, I bought that car sight unseen. If they bought it at an auction, that's a lie. You've at least seen photos of it. If you were at the auction, you've seen it run through. So in actuality, what they should be saying is, I bought it in the lane. What that means is, you didn't really have an opportunity to inspect the vehicle as it was coming up to go into the auction block. You quickly stuck your hand in there. You seen that it had AC or not. You looked to make sure it wasn't overheating. You did a quick walk around to look at whatever bodywork it may have had or may need. You did a quick visual of the car. You didn't drive it. You didn't rev it up. You didn't start it, although it is running, but you don't know how it started. You don't know a lot of that stuff. So that's called buying in the lane. As a wholesaler, at least for me, I did the majority of my my buys in the lane, because it's almost impossible to look at 1,000 cars and know which cars are going to be your wholesale vehicle. Because at any given day, any car can go for any price. You know, like that Saab. I don't know if I did the video. I bought that Saab in the lane for $1,100. I could have bought that car there, taken it to ACV, cleaned it up, taken it to ACV, and probably made $300 to $400. That's another thing. As a wholesaler, you don't look at these big amounts that people are saying on YouTube. Oh, I made $2,000, I made $3,000. No. As a wholesaler, at least in my experience, your profit margin is going to be less than 1,000. Really and truly, most wholesalers that I know, they make less than 500. But let's just say 500 a car. Okay, I think that's giving. But these guys are selling 10, 20 cars in a week. They have detailers that go to, say they buy the auction from Mannheim, Tampa. They'll pull the cars out or set it up where their detailers can go in the auction. They're detailing the cars right there at Mannheim, and then the next week rerunning it through Mannheim, you know, and hoping to make that $500. But they're selling 10 to 20 cars. So while $500 doesn't seem like that much money, you times that by 10 on the low end, you just made $5,000 for the week. You can have a small little rinky-dink office. You don't need a huge lot, because no one's going to come to your lot to sell cars. For me, one of the nicest things about being a car dealer is the dealer tag. So any car that I want to drive, to test drive, I just simply put my tag on it and drive it, because I want to make sure I'm selling a quality product, not that I want to just drive around a different car, right? So you get all the benefits, and then you still are making money. No headaches of people coming to your shop, no headaches of missed appointments, no headaches of a week goes by and someone calls you up, oh, you sold me a bum car. Meanwhile, they took it to their mechanic, they had their mother, sister's, uncle's brother come by and look at it. All this other shit that took place prior to the sale and how much they loved it and you were their best friend. All that is out the window. All right? So those are the two major ways that you can make money wholesaling. And this is my mascot's my dog. And really and truly, guys, I know I kind of rambled on this one, so very quick. Buying the car right is 100%, but that goes with anything. Detailing it, getting it frontline ready, emailing all these car dealers the car with the Carfax, everything they need to know to make an informed decision, including your price. You could even go so far as know like NADA, what a bank will write a check for, and you can include that in there. So the dealer really has to just fact check what you do. Or, again, buy it right, do all the same things, and just run it back through the auction, whatever you see fit. At the real auctions that you go to, as an independent, in the beginning at least, you're not going to really have great run numbers, so you'll make less money. Probably where you're going to be buying your cars will be where you're selling them. With ACV and all Trade Rev and all these, online car auction places, you have a lot better opportunity for the auction because they greenlight so many of these cars. I mean, how many of my videos have you seen where I went and picked up a green light car and, the transmission was bad, or, it needed some stuff that wasn't announced, right? And you fix or you don't, or whatever it comes out to. But again, I bought them green light, so I had that cushion. I had that security feeling. Hey guys, I hope you liked that video. As always, I am your boy Dave Mo. This is Dream Team Auto. And without a doubt, guys, if you have any questions in regards to selling cars or anything along those lines, leave them in the comments below. I'll make a video just like this for you, as long as I'm, as long as I know what I'm doing. If I don't have any experience with what you're asking, then I'll just let you know straight up and down, like, hey man, look, I've never done that before. I would do my homework for you, try to get you as much information as I can. But like I said in the beginning, this is for my boy Low Price. Low Price, I hope you're gonna kill it with this wholesale thing. I hope this video was helpful for you. As always, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank all you guys. I'm out of here.
That's my best friend.